I can't believe this is our first Inti Creates game.
Why not? You know what? Why the fuck not?
Anyways, this is Divine Dynamo Flame Frit. This was an April Fool's joke. Turned into a game. So yay.
And in case you guys missed it, we did do a full live stream of this with my full playthrough of it. But this is Crazy Armor's second run, I believe, of the game. So, hopefully we'll see some better fucking gameplay than what I did.
I think I was doing pretty well outside of one moment that you'll see.
Considering you beat the game in like an hour this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Japanese! Dang it, I miss our fucking Sonic voices from the live stream.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so to those who don't know anything about this, it is not a Zelda game. I know it's what it looks like. It's not. I just really want to make that clear because every review outlet is calling this a Zelda-like.
It really is nothing like it other than the fact that it's top-down and you do combat in the top-down. That's it.
That's it. That's all. This is a very, very short game. It is about $6 on Steam. Though, honestly, and I hate that I have to say this, I kind of would recommend getting this on sale at a later time because... Well, because if something like Blaster Master Zero is on sale, those games all go on sale for like $5 each. Much longer and have tons of replay value.
What's the base
I don't
price,
want people
though?
to waste their money.
Do you know?
$10.
Okay, so yeah, so this is
so
still...
literally, like, even if it's not on sale, like, I'd recommend something like that over this. But I don't really feel too bad because this game's pretty clearly a promotional game. It doesn't directly advertise Card NCL, but people who got the special, or pre-ordered it, or got the special edition of Card NCL just got this for free. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get into what Card NCL is here because you don't really need to know anything about it to play this game.
Just can't wait for our playthrough on it.
Card NCL?
Yeah.
I'm not doing a full playthrough, but I can live stream some of it. Since it's a roguelike.
Ah, I see. I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this game's just fucking weird. It's effectively like a really... I'm gonna describe it in a very bad way. It's a very pitiful hack and slash, essentially. Because all you do... It is
a game that, if it were any longer than it was...
It would
I think everybody would take a piss on it.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't play for more than 2 hours, if you don't know what you're doing with how basic its combat is, you can kind of forgive it for that.
Yeah.
It is a fascinating game. It is very 5 out of 10 in pretty much all ways involving gameplay. But I think its heart and some of its more unique ideas elevate to at least a 6.
Yeah.
I don't say that as like a bad thing, it's just there's not like anything else I can recommend that's like this, but I can't recommend this over like literally any other game. If that makes sense.
Honestly, like, yeah, it is a very, like, basic, bare-bones game. And we were talking about that during the live stream as well.
I think this is, like, one of the most impressive bare-bones games I've ever played. But it is bare-bones.
It's like, it has a bunch of very interesting, fun ideas going on in its game design. But it doesn't have time to explore those to its fullest extent. It also doesn't have time to introduce anything beyond what it already introduces. So, you know, It's just kind of like, and you know what? Not all games gotta be like this masterpiece. And you know what? This is a fun little cozy little romp through a little dumb magical world with goofy characters. And you know what? I can enjoy that for what it is.
This game's literally an isekai.
Yeah. And you don't even get to see like him get isekai. It's just he was a regular middle schooler, but then suddenly he was transported to this world and he's one of the 4 divine dynamo mech riders.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. We're here, we're doing this. And then at the beginning of the game, he's like, man, this was such a long journey to get here. That sucked. And he just starts right here. It's funny. It is a very funny game, I will say.
I love the soundtrack as well.
Yeah, it's a fun soundtrack.
It's a bop. It's just, yeah, I don't think I've ever played anything like this, and I don't think I'll ever play anything like it again. But in a way, it just kind of harkened back to a lot of old school game design.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really have any of the completion or things to go for to kind of add to that satisfaction of playing it.
Yeah, that's like
it's like I read like half of the reviews on Steam were solid game. Really amazed that Inti didn't give it a second playthrough, because like Inti's usually really good about that.
Yeah.
And adding in like the various hardcore modes to really push the game.
It probably wouldn't have been that hard to do. Just make like playable sprites for one of the other characters or something.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing, is probably the timetable of when this game was made. Nothing's really definitive. But this game was originally announced as an April Fool's joke, and they like made a fake website and everything, but also took a lot of time and effort to painstakingly put throughout the website, this is an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
And just try to really confirm it's not real.
This is an April Fool's joke.
If it was announced in April of this year, and then it releases in November of the same year, that is a tiny-ass development cycle. To get a game working that looks like Zelda, has a defined art style, and has completely different gameplay for the boss battles.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think this is a pretty solid title.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nice.
That was sad.
It does feel like one of those fucking games you'd play, like, as a kid on, like, your Game Boy or something. Or Game Boy Advance, I should say. And yeah, I'm totally fine. Like, obviously, this is fucking way smaller than any of those games even were. But you know, I'm really, like, honestly, I like getting a game like this every now and again. That's like really short, and you don't have to have a lot of. It doesn't take a lot to buy you into it at all. You're just here, you play it, it's over, whatever. That's all you need sometimes.
And
it
is some solid old school fun without being difficult like an old school game.
The only thing really
like,
difficult is the last boss, yeah.
Yeah, I spent a good long while on that thing.
I like, on my first try, I got to the second phase, and I was like, oh, shit.
You got through that thing with dumb luck.
I know I did. But
you did not have any of him memorized.
Hey, my dumb luck allowed me to just, like, instantaneously know how to parry one of his moves, at least, so. It's like, oh, okay, that's just how you do that. Okay, I could do that. But, no.
So this is our first boss, and he's just gonna go Power Rangers mode.
Yeah, and like everything else in this game, he's just kind of fucking here.
Yeah, he works for Graham. But you don't know who Graham is yet.
You will in, like, give it 10 minutes. Not even.
No, 2 minutes.
Yeah, like 2. Because I forget he shows up right away. So.
No tutorials here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably one of the most unique parts of the game. This kind of field of view has been done before, but like, I think they did a pretty solid job on these. And I would love to see some more attempts at these. They're a lot of fun.
Nice parry there. Yeah, these are
but
fucking
one of the biggest
wacky.
things, if anyone's ever having trouble with them, is watch your radar. It will help for a lot of things. If something's in the red radar, that's when you can hit it with the sword. And then some enemies will try to like off-screen themselves. So you can watch the radar to always figure out where they are. Like so.
Yeah. These like are really weird and out of nowhere. But honestly, super fucking fun. I would play a whole game designed around bosses like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. Like, it's so simple. You have your very simple mechanics. But like it's like one of those things where it's so simple that they can really push it. And like the last boss, it shows you what kind of stuff you have to do. It's sort of like a rhythm game almost, it feels like, for the final boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had it memorized pretty well. So you kind of get a better idea of what it's like to really face off against that when I get to it.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A sequel to this game would be much appreciated. But please, 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 please give it more development time.
And give the player more shit to do than just walk around and slice enemies.
Yeah. All of the Divine Dynamos as playable characters would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like something they could do. If this is a tech demo or just a quick design document of what can be done,
yeah,
I'd be very happy.
I would love like some like Link's Awakening like inspiration to like go into this, because like we were talking about earlier, like a lot of people were randomly comparing this to Zelda just because of the top-down perspective, but you could do a lot with that. Like I don't know if you've seen Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club. I was one of their was one of the Kickstarters. Yeah. That game, it is basically like a Dark Souls top-down Zelda-inspired game. So it's like a Zelda game, so it's top-down and it has that kind of combat, but it's like linear levels with like secrets to find hidden around and stuff. And it has like very basic like jumping, platforming stuff to do. This game series could go along a path like that. Like I don't think it needs to do like a whole like Zelda inspired thing where you have this big open map that you're exploring or anything. But you could I feel like there's a lot of merit to just a top-down action game like this.
Uh-huh.
Story.
Hopefully we get a sequel, because in Card NCL there is a sequel to this game. Card NCL is like a weird crossover of Inti games.
Does it have
and also a lot of non-existent games? Yeah.
It does? Holy shit.
Yeah. The you can get the cat as a card, and it just anytime it talks, it's just a meow.
Hell yes.
It's adorable. Okay, that outside shot of the pyramid's probably like the worst looking thing in this game.
It looks so fucking flat.
Yeah. But then you go inside and it's okay.
And you know what? It's because everything in this game is flat. There's no actual layers to anything other than like some background objects can appear in
the final level. In the final level, there's a bit of parallax scrolling.
Yeah, that's the most you get with it.
Yeah. Alright, so this is our first extra power we get. This tornado is an OP screen nuke that will auto-track enemies. But you have to add an element effect to it to get full damage out of it. So like you can turn into like a sandstorm here. Later you can add fire to it.
It's inconsistent though. Fuck! It was right there. How did you? Hold on. How? Oh no.
Yep.
And now you press the checkpoint so everything respawned.
Yep.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yep.
Crazy armor. Oh my god.
You know, it's sad at this point I can see it.
It's literally there. Are you even looking at the screen?
I am. I'm in denial right now.
Nice. There's fucking jump cut.
I forgot to put the Dragon Ball sound effect in. I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah, this is a Dark Souls game. This is a Dark Souls sequel.
Hey, it's got a dodge roll and sword combat.
It does have a dodge roll. There's no parry. Well, there is a parry in the boss fight, so
exactly.
Yeah, it's basically a Dark Souls.
And there's one of our other peoples. We're not going to see him for a while.
Mamoru. Mamoru. Man, that hurt. I'm so attached to this character. I feel like him and I are one and the same. What's his name again? Yuto?
Yes.
I feel like I'm one and the same with this fucking guy.
This is actually not our next boss. Surprisingly. She just summons the boss.
Don't fucking lie to the viewer, you bitch.
She summons the boss. She's not the boss.
I thought she was, like, in it.
No. Anyways, this is Mummy Patra. Wonderful name. We gotta go find some bandages. You can go any order throughout these rooms. It plays the same every time.
The outcome is not the same. Or it is the same. That's what I meant to say. It's always the same.
You can't get the bandages. Mamoru has the bandages.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what the design idea behind giving you the most overpowered ability first was.
Well, because it uses a shit ton of mana and it's situational. All the abilities in this game are very situational. Like, the Fire Sword, I'm never going to use again outside of when it's required. I only use the Tornado when it's required. It's very clear which abilities you'll want to use in each room. So that's why I don't think it's really an issue.
Yeah. I think you could another layer you could have for this for like a sequel is you could have like different like you could have it to where you can only have 4 elemental powers at once, but you could have like different ones you could swap out like at the start of a level or something. Like that could be cool.
Yeah, you can kind of mix them together and combine multiple characters for different effects.
Yeah.
And there just doesn't seem to be literally any reason or need to do it.
Yeah.
Because pretty much any time only one of these is really necessary to kill everything. There's no higher difficulty mode. There's no extra stuff to get. So,
right.
Please, I need a sequel to like fully fill out some of these ideas.
Honestly, I'm not certain we need a sequel. It would be fun because like I did have fun with this, and it is very basic. So like it's easy to see where the ideas could go. But, like, honestly, like, they could just make other games. Like, I'm sure they have much better ideas for other video game series that they could make, you know?
Well, it depends. I feel like Card CL was a wallet buster for them, because you got this, and in this year alone, you've had, like, 4 games from Inti Creates release.
It feels like they're constantly releasing shit at this point.
Because we also had, like, a Gunvolt rhythm game, which feels weird that it released before Card CL, considering how many songs Card CL has in it. It's weird. It just feels like a test run for a rhythm game they could do with that. We had the game Puzzmix, which is another Gunvolt themed game, which is just Suika game, that watermelon game where you drop fruits down like a puzzle shaft, like Tetris.
Yeah.
It's just a clone of that.
Yeah.
But the only difference is they're all the objects are themed around Gunvolt, and you get to listen to music from Gunvolt. Then you had Umbra Claw. You had this. You had Cars NCL. That's 5 games this year.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it was to recuperate budget.
That, it makes sense for a studio like this. Sometimes you just need to do that.
And the studio is also the kings of improving a game in almost every way in sequels. Outside of, maybe you could argue, like, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. I think some people had issues with over the first one. That was kind of it. Otherwise, they're a very good company at iterating on what works. But then you get the third game, and it takes things in really different directions, like every time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Either way, they do have very unique ideas. Like, even Umbra Claw, that's like the one I keep talking about because it's the one I have the most experience with. But, like, the idea of having, like, a platformer where your character's a cat, so you have 9 lives by default, but each life you get a new animal power, like, that's such a cool idea.
Yeah. That's, like, their most unique game I've ever seen, because, like, everything else they create is in a pre-established gameplay style with their own turn added to it, or their own twist added to it.
Yeah.
Obviously this takes cues from Zelda, but only goes action route. Gunvolt takes a lot of cues from Mega Man X, but makes it score-based.
Right.
Umbra Claw is, like, their only game I've seen where it's like, I cannot figure out what the base influence for this is, and it feels like their most original. Even Galgun, is just House of the Dead, but with questionable content.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Umbra Claw is definitely... It's such a cool idea for a platformer. I think it does come down to, like... I think, like, a platformer character is something that is... Well, it's not easy to come up with. It's such a versatile genre that I feel like you can do, like, pretty much anything with it. Whereas, say, like, a first-person shooter... you're gonna have, the relatively very similar gameplay, and it's a shooter, so you're probably gonna have guns, and that...
I'll disagree, Doom plays very differently from COD, but I do see where you're getting at.
Well, like, that... I'm not saying it's, like, it's impossible to come up with unique ideas for a first-person shooter, but generally, it's like from a normie perspective, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's a game where you run around and shoot guns.
Right.
Whereas platformers, you can fucking... It's just like cartoon antics, and cartoon antics can be fucking anything, really. It can even be serious. It could
just be a shooter.
Yeah, you could have a platformer that's just a shooter. Hey, that's Half-Life. Got my Half-Life quota in for this playthrough. Okay. But there are not a lot of just straight up top-down action games. And
yeah, no.
That's why this game is very unique on its own. And why it's so easy to see, like, where they could go and do more with it. And I really hope they do one day. But
this is, outside of Galgun, probably the hardest Inti Creates game to recommend.
Yeah. Well,
because a lot of people would probably finish this and be pissed, being like, "Oh my god, it is that short. Why'd you recommend this?"
Yeah. I remember because you were recommending me this game. You were like talking about it a lot,
Yeah.
And like, I
I
looked
was
at
very
the,
hyped for this.
I looked at the trailer, and you said, "Oh, it's a Zelda game," and I look at the trailer, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this looks really cool." So I went into it with the mindset of that it was a Zelda-like, like everyone else seemingly did.
Then I tried to warn you a few days beforehand.
Yeah,
Like,
you were
oh
like,
yeah, I played it. No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
yeah, you were like, "Oh yeah, this is 2 hours long. You should play it and record it for the channel," is what you said. I obviously didn't end up doing that, but
yeah, this worked out better.
Yeah. Now you gotta get your ass recording Shadow Gens, bitch.
Nope.
Oh, you fucking died. I was expecting flawless run.
That's what editing's for.
Well, you didn't make it look like a flawless run, so...
No, but it takes the time out.
Key! Oh, he grabbed it this time, thank God. No.
I tried to dodge him.
I think, like, another thing they could do for a sequel, just, like, movement upgrades would be nice. Like, I was talking about, like, having some, like Link's Awakening-esque platforming and stuff, but, like, you could have,
yeah, like,
more than just a dodge roll that it is on a, like, 3-second cooldown or whatever it is. Like, you could even, like, combine it, maybe, like, have a way to combine your movement with elemental powers, since that's a big feature with this game, is the elements.
Yeah. What I like about this game is, like, I feel like literally any other company would add in too much, and it wouldn't come together in the short time they had.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell very early on they had quickly designed levels and movement, and then just spent all their time polishing to make sure it felt exactly right.
Yeah.
This is a highly polished game for what it is.
I don't think there's a single bug in it.
No, everything works.
Yeah.
Everything's satisfying. It's fun. But it's an hour.
And they probably just threw this shit together with, like, technology that they already had laying around. You know?
I don't know if there's any Inti Creates game that plays like this.
Well, I mean, they have 2D game engines. So...
Yeah, but, like, all their movement code and such is all, you know, for side-scrollers.
Well, also, to be fair, top-down movement is, like, one of the easiest things to program ever.
Yes, it is.
It's just, oh, you're pressing this key, move the character this much at this speed. And that's it. In that direction. It's,
Alright, let's appreciate the sprite work.
Yeah.
Inti Creates is really good at sprite work.
Yeah, they put way too much fucking effort into these bosses. I'm gonna just say it.
Especially the friggin' last boss, my goodness.
Yeah.
He's so smooth.
Oh, nice. Screw that bitch.
Hell yeah, I played this game once before.
Oh, you used the wrong fucking block. You should be flawlessing these bosses, I'm just saying.
Look, this was a week later. I had forgotten some of the moves.
God, I'm not looking forward to your Shadow Gens run. That's all I can say.
I haven't recorded it yet.
You need to, since that's what we're doing after this, isn't it?
I know, we got 5 parts of Final Fantasy 13 we could do.
You just keep putting off this fucking Sonic game, and we're not going to get to it this year because of that.
No, it'll be next. It'll be next. I plan to record some
I
this
cannot
week.
wait any longer.
I completely forgot this was an attack.
Yeah. That one's a weird one.
It doesn't do much damage, so it's whatever.
Use the screen nuke.
Don't need it.
But fun. No parry.
I tried. The parry timings can still be a little weird to get. There you
Dude,
go.
you did that one. Like, you swung way before he got to you. Maybe that's what I was missing.
Because the slash stays on for a bit.
Yeah. Because I was, like, trying
go.
to do it like, instant their attack would land, you know? That's probably
I was trying to finish
struggling.
him off with the special attack, and I thought he was low enough.
Not
I'm
quite.
sad.
Just parry it. Yeah, there you go. Easy. Achievement.
I got 10 out of 11 achievements.
What was that one for?
Just beating the boss.
What? Wouldn't you have already had that, though?
I played it on Switch.
Oh, okay.
And then bought it on Steam.
Right. Okay.
Because I want to give Inti Creates money. But I got it free with my physical copy of Card NCL. I'm just cool like that.
Die.
Hey, that came with the physical soundtrack, which has the music from this on there.
Yeah.
So I think I'm the winner here.
I guess, you know, good for you. I'll listen to my YouTube rips of the soundtrack.
We'll see you all next week.
Maybe. Subscribe.